In this video, I'm going to share the fastest way to get to $5,000 a month as a creator, and it's not the way that I did it. But this 5-minute video could be worth $5,000 or more to you, so it's worth it to stick around to the end. And I've got a bonus book recommendation for you that I'll save to the end that'll make this whole thing easier and faster for you too. Now, I could have titled this video something like fastest way to $100,000 a month, or fastest way to a million person business, or something like that. And I do have personal friends who have reached that level. They're earning hundreds of thousands of dollars or more from their personal brand online, and I'm not one of them yet. I'm friends with those people. I'm learning from those people, but the most I've ever been able to do is a little bit past $5,000. And actually, I mean, in the spirit of full transparency, that was actually a couple of months ago. And last month I made a little bit less than that, and this month I'm back on track to make a little bit more than 5,000. But I feel extremely confident in titling this video "Fastest Way to 5K per Month" because that's what I've actually done, achieved personally, and that's what I've helped other people to do as well. So you're in good company here. Now, I mentioned that I did it the stupid way, and I'm sort of half joking about that. Maybe it wasn't stupid, but it was certainly slower than it had to have been. And that being said, what I did in the beginning was spread myself out very, very thin across all of these different revenue streams. So you see my revenue streams right now, I've got a bunch of them. So I make money on Instagram and, Medium, Patreon, coaching. There's my private community, the competitive advantage, all of these things, right? And even more. But when you think about your energy and your attention as like the sun, when it's shining over vast distances, it warms the entire earth, right? Which is fantastic. We need the sun to live, right? But when you focus the sun's rays through a magnifying glass, it's literally incendiary. If you try and spin all these plates all at once, at least one or two or like all of them will get away from you, right? And you'll just, even if you do make progress, and I did. I mean, that's the way I started with doing everything at once. Like eventually you can get there. I mean, lots of people don't, but you can do it. I've done it. But at the same time, you'll just get there much, much faster if you zero in on just one, two, maybe three things at the very beginning. And there's a strategy behind choosing what those things are, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. But instead of like diffusing your attention and your focus all over the place, it really, I mean, it literally pays to specialize, right? To go deep into just a few revenue streams as opposed to spreading yourself thin doing everything. But the problem I see with a lot of my coaching clients is that they'll want to do something like and again, there's nothing wrong with this, except it's wrong for where they are in their business journey, I guess, if you will, right? So like they want to sell some like $10 ebook or something like that, or even something like a course, which is not a bad thing. I mean, I have low ticket products like that. My newsletter, right? Like premium members of my newsletter, it's like $9 a month, right? So like there's nothing wrong with that revenue stream. I mean, it can certainly add up. But one of the biggest mindset shifts that I've ever had in business is that it's so much easier to find one person that will pay you $1,000 a month or what have you than it is to find 100 people that will pay you $10, right? It's so much easier to just find one person. And even at $5,000 a month, like there are skills that you can develop that are worth $5,000 a month to somebody, and services that you can provide that people pay well over $5,000 a month for. And finding one of those people willing to pay you that amount of money is going to be a lot easier than finding literally hundreds of people like every single month, to pay you just like a little tiny amount, right? So in the very beginning, I would focus on building up your skills and your competency and your value as a creator, basically, and just develop yourself into the type of person with a skill and ability, the knowledge, that's worth that amount of money to someone, and spend a lot of effort, the majority of your day, connecting with people, having sales conversations. Conversions come from conversations, and you should do that pretty much as long as it takes, as often as it takes throughout the day. Really just focus exclusively on that until you find, those five people who are going to pay you $1,000 a month. It's literally that easy and that difficult, right? And you can get there. Like, it's not going to happen immediately. I said fastest, not like super fast. Like, it's not going to happen, like next week. I mean, it could. I mean, the internet is a wild place. I mean, you can make astounding progress in not that long of a time, and it's really quite astonishing once you to get moving. Things happen very, very fast. Instead of slaving away for some employer who doesn't care about you at all, and for, years and years, and then begging for some little tiny promotion, you can give yourself a raise when you've earned that online, right? And that's what I do for people on a one-to-one level and inside my private community called the Competitive Advantage, where I make people unforgettable online. I make them undeniable. So the link to join my community is the first link in the video description, but you have to realize that there are many paths that you can take to 5K per month, but you have to make sure that you're in the right vehicle. So for example, like the restaurant business, you can make $5,000 as a restaurant owner, but it's going to be very, very difficult because of the margins are very low. You're not making a lot of money, per meal served, right? You have to serve a lot of, customers, people that need to come through your restaurant, that have to become aware of you, and there's a lot of things that you have to sort of manage, but it's just so much easier and more scalable when you go online and you pursue opportunities here, right? Because they are abundant, and it's just something that I've been learning and seeing just again and again and again. Just there comes a point when you see enough people who are actually making like tens of thousands of dollars with their business. Obviously lots of people are just inflating numbers or whatever. A big one is talking about revenue and not profit. You can make $1 million a month, but if you spent $900,000 on ads, you didn't really make $1 million. But my point being that you start seeing all of these real success stories everywhere, and you start to think like, man, like there's no reason why I can't do this too. And I've just been hit over the head with that realization again and again. And actually, the book recommendation that I hinted at earlier, it's this one. It's called 10x It's Easier Than 2x by Benjamin Hardy. And it's the next breakdown that I have in my membership site that I told you about earlier in the video. And by the time this video goes live, my breakdown for 10x is easier than 2x will be published as well. So I'll leave the link to that in the video description as well. And I've also got a published breakdown for Arnold Schwarzenegger's latest book, Be Useful, and I'm working on a video version of that I'm going to upload to YouTube very, very soon. So subscribe to the channel if you want to come back and get notified for when that's live. That's one of the best books that I read last year, and I think there were about 10 or so key ideas that I took from that book, and some other excellent takeaways and action steps and things like that from the book. So I'm going to put it all into a video form, but the written version of that is available right now. And as for getting to 5K per month, I'm working on a ton of other resources that will help you get there, and a lot of them are going to be published on YouTube, which is going to be free, obviously. So subscribe if you want to get notified for those. But if you want to go deeper into all of these and go a lot faster and just get a lot more of the details, you're going to want to join the Competitive Advantage, and you can actually work with me directly, like one-on-one. Like I will get on a video call with you like I do with the rest of my individual coaching clients, and I'll basically help you set this up like personally, step by step. Like make sure you do not miss anything and really save you a lot of time, because like you don't have as much time as you may think you do. There's a lot that goes into it, and if you don't know what you're doing, if you're sort of drinking from the fire hose of free information on YouTube, you can just delay your own progress like unnecessarily for months and months, years, without ever getting to that 5K per month. Whereas with me, one of the promises that I make is that I will get you at least, like bare minimum, we'll go from zero or wherever you are to $1,000 per month or another 1,000, and I'll do that for you, like with you, for you, in 90 days, or I'll work with you for free until you get there. So again, that's the first link in the description. That's it for this video, though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Waste time, no, I make time. All these people wanna hate, fine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating. Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable.